Why having agents work in an agency management system kills sales. So let's talk about this. Agency management systems, I think it's a poor name. Really what they are is policy management systems, in the sense that they're totally designed to service policies. Of course, not all agency management systems are exactly the same. I'm just talking in generalities, but I've never seen one yet that does an excellent job in both areas. They tend to all be really geared towards the service side of things, servicing policies, and the sales side suffers. This is why your largest and most successful agencies all have a second system for sales. I think even if there were a system that just combined both sales and service, the interface would actually separate your service people from your, and the interface would be different for service from sales. And the reason is because each one is a totally different result. You don't want your salespeople distracted with service things, and you want it really simple and clear. You really don't want them in a system all day long. You want them talking with people. And so the needs are totally different of the users. The user that's going to service policies needs one kind of a system and has a different set of needs from that system, compared to the salesperson that has totally different needs and goals. So yeah, I've already mentioned this. One of the big problems with the agency management systems is they're just full of distractions. An agent gets in there. You can probably, most of you, I think, listening to this would agree that it's really easy for a salesperson to get distracted. There's a lot of agencies that actually do not even allow their agents to get into the servicing system at all. I know of a number of large agencies that do this specifically just because they don't want their agents. They know that agents fiddle around doing data entry and monkeying around in the service system isn't going to make money. It doesn't lead to sales. It's a distraction. It's a way to kill time. Anyway, the other thing is, it's not designed for serious sales. So some common limitations include you can't add deals within seconds. If a salesperson can't capture a deal right when he notices it within seconds, he's going to have other systems he uses, scratch pads, memory, other kinds of things. So if your system can't add a deal in seconds, you're in big trouble. That's why, of course, Amped solves this. Amped, you can just add it within seconds. And that's such a huge thing, because being able to add deals in seconds and getting everybody to do that is what shines a light on the entire sales process. Because if you're not capturing them right from the beginning, and you're letting agents have their own little systems to keep track of stuff, you really don't know what deals you're missing out on. You don't know how your marketing's working, because you don't know about all the deals. You don't know which agents are procrastinating on deals and not getting them done and churning them or not. I mean, you really have no idea. It's like being outside of your business with the lights out. I mean, you just don't know. Can't see what's live instantly. Agency management system, a lot of times you got to run reports. It's super, super difficult, right? You want your salespeople to walk in and not even need to run a report. They just turn their computer on and bam, right there is all of their live prospects that they're working on closing right there in front of them, prioritized, ready to go. It doesn't separate from service. So that's where you get a lot of the distractions. Information needs to be chased. So I mentioned reports. You don't want a good sales system doesn't make you ever run reports if you don't, that's an optional thing, but it should be pushing out actionable, relevant information to the users, depending on what type of user they are. So the agents it should be throwing sales, the data they need to make sales right out in front of them, right in the display. So where are you at for your goal this month? What's your production like? What's your deals you should be working on? What about these that you've forgotten? I mean, that needs to be thrown at them. Sales managers and business owners or agency owners, they need to be shown, so for example, with Amped, at the end of the night, there's a PDF that gets emailed out to all the sales managers and owners so they can see exactly what happened that day. They didn't have to run a report. They don't have to look for it. They don't have to log in. It's just there. And that's the way it should be. Information should be pushed out to users, you shouldn't require users to chase it. Okay, can't set up sales flows with automated actions. This is huge. kind of a limitation among agency management systems. If they do have sales flows management systems, they're cumbersome and clunky. So you want it to be really simple and easy, so that, hey, at this point, if this deal reaches this criteria, at this point in the sales process, we need Sally Joe to do this thing, or we need Bubba over here to do this thing. So way too many fields and clunky. I mean, that's a problem. So some of the larger agencies out there, they've got their agency management system, and then they'll use a system like Salesforce or something like that that's more sales oriented, but they're so big and clunky, and they're expensive too, by the way. The agents really hate them just because they're hard to navigate around. You want it to be as simple as possible, and Amped, not a single field is added if we think it can be done without, if it doesn't add enough to the sales. It's got to be totally about results and about keeping things sleek and easy. Okay, it doesn't display production. That kind of goes back to pushing information in front of people. So everything's kind of a big black box to the agents and to the owners. And then pipeline's not visible, another black box problem. Another thing, features like referral program can make so much money. A lot of times that's just absolutely non-existent. And related to that is lead source management is poor. So where's my business coming from? A lot of the agency management systems out there make that really, really difficult to answer. So I don't say this I just want to say I think agency management systems, so-called agency management systems, do a great job for what they are designed to do, and that is for servicing policies. I think the idea of having one system that does everything in an agency, maybe someday we'll have something like that. But what's happened over the last few years is you get really specific tools doing specific things. And with time, I expect Amped, the data will get better. Amped will get better and better and better at managing sales within insurance agencies. And at some point, we'll have an API where the data can go back and forth between whatever CRM you have. I don't think everything will start to act like one system, I guess is what I'm saying, even though there might be separate systems that are really super focused in on that one function or what the purpose of it is. So don't get too hung up on just trying to make one system do everything for you. I don't think that it's that big of a deal to have multiple systems, each system doing an excellent job in the area that it's designed to do. And that with time, the data will start to, you'll see that everywhere you go, where all this different systems share data with one another. Anyway, so that is a little bit of why most agency management systems just kill sales, is they're not designed for sales, they're designed for service.